Baltimore, Maryland. It's where the Star-Spangled Banner was written, and it's home to many historic monuments. But the city's seen its share of urban decay, riots, and murders over the years. So we're going to take a look at the community management efforts by Visit Baltimore Tourist Organization to meet the challenges of what is a mid-tier city. TripAdvisor's top U.S. tourist destinations put Baltimore at number 51. Baltimore has to compete with Washington, D.C., number 12, that's only a half-hour train ride away, and Philadelphia, number 34, that's an hour's drive away. So community management has to promote a city that's sandwiched between two other cities. Visit Baltimore's Facebook page accentuates the positive. It highlights events and places to draw in tourists. We learned that Baltimore has more than 300 unique events in October. The social media team is responsive and welcoming. With a city that has challenges, I think that's the best strategy for it. One influencer that Visit Baltimore's Facebook page has used is Mike Rowe. He's from Baltimore and he's host of the Discovery Channel's Dirty Jobs. Now I know this video isn't current, but here's what I'd like to see on the Facebook page. I would like to see a special spot reserved for influencers so that they can tell us how great Baltimore really is. Here's how an influencer was put to maximum use on Visit Baltimore's Facebook page. It's an article that appeared in travelandleisure.com and was recently prominently featured. It made me want to discover how this gritty blue-collar town is reinventing itself. I suspect it also inspired some visits. 2 thumbs up. Most tourists arrive for the weekend, and Visit Baltimore's Facebook page helps them plan their time. Each weekend, events are highlighted, but there's also a place you can click on called Only in Baltimore. It gets you off the beaten path, and you can go visit Edgar Allan Poe's grave or see a bust of Frank Zappa. Let's highlight the quirky. Let's move over to Twitter. I prefer hashtag Visit Baltimore to the Facebook page. I find it more visually pleasing, and I find it's really quicker to find out what's going on. I can easily get information on restaurants, the Baltimore Symphony, the National Aquarium, or Graffiti Alley. It hits the highlights and it tells me why I should visit. Back to Facebook. One aspect of Visit Baltimore's Facebook page that I like is their Pinterest. The top 10 Instagrammable places in Baltimore were visually interesting. I learned that Federal Hill in this photo offers one of the most picturesque inner harbor views in Baltimore and is a landmark. Kudos for this. From the research that I've done about Baltimore, there are 3 things I'd like to know about: the inner harbor, the craft beer and restaurant scene, and Camden Yards, home to the Baltimore Orioles. I just feel that I had to search too hard on the Facebook page. I know they've been featured there before, but here's what I'd like. I'd like an always there spot on the Facebook page. I checked hashtag Visit Baltimore on Twitter on the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, and I found something that impressed me. There were a couple of new tweets about events taking place that day, featuring Baltimore in a box, pretty quirky, and Family Day, which included storytelling. I like these kind of timely updates. They draw people in. Bravo! So we've seen how Visit Baltimore's Facebook and Twitter platforms attract tourists. Is there something that community management is overlooking? The Wire is an American crime drama that personified the problems in Baltimore. Those problems haven't gone away, and it's sometimes difficult for community management to correctly address them. Baltimore is one of the deadliest cities in the U.S. The mayor of Baltimore asked the FBI for help in June, saying murder's out of control. Desperate residents asked Baltimore's criminals in early August not to kill anybody. I checked back on Facebook that weekend, and wisely, it was business as usual, no other solution. Let's take a look at community management during the 2015 Freddie Gray riots. From what I can see, it was business as usual on Facebook and Twitter. The CEO of Baltimore, though, did a series of video updates to reassure people after the riots. It was pretty plodding. Right off the top, he should have said, "We will recover, come visit us." Tourists want to know if their destination is safe. That's only normal. On TripAdvisor, a woman from Miami wanted to know if Baltimore was safe to visit, and folks told her it was no different than visiting Miami or any other large city. You have to be aware of what's going on around you. I think that was good advice, transparent and honest. I reached out to Visit Baltimore's Facebook page about safety, and the social media team took the conversation offline. They also asked me to contact the PR manager, and she told me that Baltimore does have problems when it comes to crime and that tourists should stay in the recommended tourist areas. I thought that was transparent and honest enough. take a look at St. Louis, Missouri, another mid-tier city that's similar to Baltimore in terms of tourism, riots, and murders. Explore St. Louis's Facebook page also accentuates the positive, highlighting restaurants, pubs, historical sites, and events. It's similar to look and feel to Baltimore's page, a solid strategy. St. Louis is on track again this year to be the murder capital of the U.S. I sent a Facebook message to Explore St. Louis saying I was concerned about security. They answered me via Messenger, and they said their city's welcoming and safe, and directed me to a website that addressed crime but not murder. 2 thumbs down on this strategy. Riots broke out in September when a former officer was acquitted in the death of a black man. Here's what Explore St. Louis's Facebook page did after the riots, which was different than what Baltimore did. The St. Louis page posted a story and photo of efforts to clean up after the riots. This strategy is a positive after a really negative event. We're going back to Baltimore to take a look at some videos that I found on YouTube called Charm City. That's a nickname created by advertising executives in the 1970s to put a positive spin on Baltimore. These videos are charming, they are a slice of life, they're a bit quirky, but I would like to see something like this promoted on the Facebook page. Picture Perfect, the face of revitalized Baltimore. Overall, I would give the community management teams a B. Some aspects are great, others are just okay. What I would like lots more of is updates, and lots of pictures and videos. Keep convincing me to come to Baltimore.